Names matter. For 30 years, the A4 was the backbone of the Audi brand. But times change, and in Germany, even numbers have a new destiny. This is no longer an A4, it's the all-new Audi A5 sedan. And don't let that boot lid fool you. It might look like a traditional sedan, but underneath that Ascari blue skin, it's hiding a secret that changes everything. And I've spent the past week with this 146 kilowatt S-Line Audi A5, driving it from the mirror towers of Sandton all the way to the quiet luxury of the Johannesburg. But is this just a rebadged A4, or has Audi really cracked the code in making us forget the craze about SUVs? Let's find out. The design language has matured. It's wider, lower, and more muscular. The front end is dominated by a broader single-frame grille and these aggressive air inlets. But the party piece is the matrix LED headlights. For the first time, you can actually choose between 8 different digital light signatures via the MMI. You aren't just buying a car, you're buying a mood and personalization. My personal favorite are these ones. Moving down the side, the proportions are classic Audi. You get short overhangs and the long wheelbase, and it sits on 19-inch 5-twin V-spoke wheels in graphite grey. Then there's the roofline. It flows seamlessly into the rear, giving it a coupe-like silhouette that actually hides a massive liftgate. And at the back, the second-gen OLED rear lights are connected by a continuous light strip that looks like a high-end digital heartbeat at night. They don't just sit there, they're alive. Using car-to-X communication, these lights actually change their signature when someone approaches the vehicle too closely from behind, displaying a warning symbol like a glowing red triangle to alert them from a potential hazard. Step inside and it feels like you're in a completely different century. Audi calls this the digital stage, and what you get is a 14.5-inch screen right in the center for your infotainment, and that overflows into this 11.9-inch for your instrumentals. It's tilted towards the driver, which means that it's even better. This digital stage is made from OLED and it's crisp. The center console is minimalist, featuring a toggle-style gear selector and a dedicated wireless charging tray. What I like about it is that it's fast charging, so it won't take the entire day to charge your phone to 10%. When you look at the driver's door handle, gone are the traditional plastic buttons scattered around. They've been replaced by a sleek backlit smart door panel. This panel is now your command center. From this one-touch sensitive surface, you can control your exterior mirrors, heating and adjustment, your memory seat settings, and even your light controls, including the fog lights and dynamic signatures. It's all within a thumb's reach, although it will take more time to get used to the repositioning. But why should the driver have all the fun? And for the first time again, the front passenger gets their own 10.9-inch MMI display. It's perfectly integrated into the dashboard, and it lets the passenger take over co-pilot duties. They can search for navigation, destination, or manage the music without distracting the driver. And here's the clever bit: active privacy mode. If the passenger decides to stream a movie or catch up on Disney, the screen uses a digital blind. And if you're an audiophile, this is where you win. We've got the Bang Olufsen sound system. The one spec'd out on this car is not the 3D premium version, but you can still get it as an option. The materials in the car are exactly what you'd expect: leather and soft touch inlays and high gloss piano black accents. I think you know how I feel about that one. But the real talking point are these white leather sports seats. They make the cabin feel light, airy, and incredibly premium, even if they'll keep you on your toes during a coffee run. And then there's this, the panoramic glass roof. But it's not just glass, it features a switchable transparency. With a touch of a button, PDLC technology, which stands for polymer dispersed liquid crystal, turns the roof from clear to opaque in 6 individual segments. It's literally magic. And because this car is about 68 millimeters longer than the old A4, the rear leg room is actually respectable, but it's not the greatest, as you can see. The front seat is in the same position as I was sitting as a driver, and in the rear, it's okay, but I'm quite tall, so I think an average adult would be just fine. But what you find in the rear also is that there is respectable headroom as well. Again, not the greatest because this is a coupe shaped kind of vehicle. You get 2 USB-C slots here and then some air vents for your aircon, and you can also control it to your heart's desire. There's also heated seats over here, which I find is a great touch in the sedan. And talking about the boot, it's 445 liters. But because it opens as a full hatchback, loading suitcases for a weekend is easier than a traditional sedan. And under the bonnet, you get a 2-liter TFSI engine that's good for 146 kilowatts and 340 Newton meters of torque. Now, this car, of course, it's not a supercar, but on the open road, like right now where we are, it's well poised. It's such a treat. It's comfortable and it's refined. But the minute you start going crazy and start trying things, that's when you can see the lack of power, especially when you're trying to overtake on the open road. You really need to plan for those overtakes and make sure that your torque and exactly how much power you're giving it is enough to get you where you want to go. Now, talking about that power, it's actually better if you put it into dynamic mode. It actually has 4 driving modes. That dynamic mode actually adds a little bit extra to the vehicle and makes it far more pleasant to drive. When it comes to figures, 0 to 100 comes in 7.8 seconds. Again, like I said, it's not a rocket ship, but it is very comfortable. And then when it comes to what's aiding that, you get a 7-speed S-tronic transmission in this car. In terms of fuel consumption, what we get from a full tank is about 500 kilometers. Again, when that is in dynamic, that's when you see the most fuel consumption. But right now, we're cruising nicely at just about 9.8 liters per 100 kilometers in this car. It's a very beautiful drive on the open road, like I said earlier. So I think that's where you'll get to enjoy it most. In bends, it hugs it very nicely as a lounger would, and I think you would enjoy this car even more. So what's the damage? This Audi A5 Sedan TFSI in 146 kilowatts in an S-Line will cost you from 1.1 million rand. And if you're looking to finance this through Westbank with no deposit over 72 months, at the current prime rate of 10.25%, you're looking at an estimated monthly installment of roughly 21,000 Rand. It's a premium price for a premium experience, but it's also a car that makes every commute feel like a diplomat's mission. And after a week with this Ascari Blue Audi A5, it's hard to find a reason why you shouldn't get yourself one. But that's our time with it. Before we let you go, please make sure that you are subscribed to the Twofold channel right now. And then please leave your comments down below and let us know what you think of this car. But last and not least, please share this with your friends and family wide so that they can see what you're getting up to on the YouTube. From myself, Bima Bele, and Gift behind the camera, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.